Get your reaction to that news poll that pops, because there's a couple of things there. Albanese holds as preferred Prime Minister, different than the polls that showed that he was underwater in New South Wales, Queensland, Victoria. You heard before with Simon talking about particularly New South Wales, Victoria having the seats to decide all of this. But then you see the other things here where the Libs in front when it comes to primary, in front when it comes to 2PP. But the perception issue now too, James, if the majority of people think you are going to win, does that tell you that they're going to, or just an assumption is there and it's up to the Libs not to bank that? You've got to pretend that it's the other way around and fight.
Absolutely.
Yeah, look, anything can change over a 12-week period. Slip-ups are inevitable over the next couple of months, and it's how the opposition or the Prime Minister deals with them. It's not going to be easy for either side to win government in their own right. And I think this is the message that's starting to break through to a lot of voters, is that, OK, if they're not going to govern in their own right, who is going to help them govern? And do we want the Greens to help them govern? Or do we want One Nation or parties of conservative values to get behind, like a coalition government, for example? So, look, I would say this to all Conservative parties, particularly to that of Peter Dutton. Now is not the time to take the foot off the accelerator when it comes to giving it your all. It needs to go right down to the wire here. And there are a lot of armchair critics at home, whether it be this program or others. If you are so hell-bent on giving your advice and making sure that we get the right outcomes for this country, one day, just one day this year, can you just give up one day of your life to go and implement change? That is volunteering to hand out for whatever party it might be. It can be One Nation, it can be another one. But go and hand out how to vote cards and bring about the change that this country needs, because without your help, people sadly are not understanding how they need to implement change through the power of the ballot box.
100%. Gary, your advice to the people who are going, woohoo, we've won, when they haven't, and they could end up going backwards, because that's the way elections go.
Yeah, look, you're always one vote short. You've got to always go and talk to people about the stuff that's important. And you want to talk about government efficiency. How about a proposal that rids Australia's politics of public servants running departments who are paid twice what ministers are paid? We've got $1 million mandarins all over this country. And if you want to save some real money, and James's idea of cutting that duplication is a valid idea. But, Paul, I think Australians will be turned on to the idea that people are on $1 million a year, first in line to get the orders of Australia. They travel at the highest class, if not first class, business class, all around the world. They get the best seats at Olympics and other events like that, and they get paid a wage bigger than their boss, who's the minister, who, by the way, of course, works for us. So I think we've got to actually have a look at the way in which we lower the cost of government, get government out of our lives. And you can sprinkle the Trump dust. Peter Dutton is not Donald Trump. Australia is not America. We can't tell the world to go float their boat somewhere else over Paris simply because we can't sell goods overseas, because everyone, box ticks on whether or not we're doing something about whatever global emissions and whatever else is going on. But, Paul, we can stand on our own 2 feet, demand that our public sector is staffed by people doing the job, not those who are hiring consultants and setting themselves up for a career after their $1 million mandarin time comes to an end. I think these are things that everyday Australians will relate to. And Labor have set up these enormous consultancy businesses within government. They really have, by the way, in which they've hired so many of them. So I think there's a lot of good grist out there, and James is right. Pedal to the metal, keep going, Peter Dutton, I say.
I think it'd be good, how Trump sort of did, Gulf of Mexico is now Gulf of America. Somebody's got to come out and say, Gulf of Carpentaria, gone, Gulf of Peter Brock. That's what it'll be called into the future. We'll all find out whether there's votes there or not. It was the name that came to mind as I was working out how will that be misinterpreted by the internet. Good luck.
You're a purist. You're a purist.
Good luck. We're here for the content for Media Watch. Not only do we pay your wage, we'll give you the content as well.